This is a short story about an element trying to search for the perfect friend. This is the story of a bond called friendship. Sodium was an element that really didn't have any friends. Ever since it was little, Sodium had trouble making friends and building relationships. This stuck with Sodium all the way up until adulthood. Sodium always wanted a friend to talk to and hang out with, but never seemed to get along with any particular element. Covalent bonds are friendships shared between two nonmetals. These bonds always shared their electrons with each other if one or both were feeling down, if they were happy, or as a normal friendship gesture. Sodium knows that some covalent bonds distribute their electrons unequally, known as polar bonds, while others share equally, known as nonpolar bonds. These bonds usually make liquids or gases. They are soft, flexible, and have low melting points. Sodium watched covalent bonds like H2O, water, from afar. It looked nice to Sodium, but it can never experience what a covalent bond was like since it knew it was a metal. Metallic bonds are a friendship shared between two metals. Like covalent bonds, metallic bonds share their electrons with each other. These bonds are malleable, have high electrical and thermal conductivity, and have a metallic luster and high melting point. Sometimes, Sodium would see multiple metals hang out with each other in alloy groups, which usually have 3 or more metals. Sodium liked the idea of a metallic bond like bronze, copper, and tin, but Sodium didn't like the idea of a large friend group bond. It wanted to start slow, one friend at a time. Also, Sodium was a very soft metal and didn't think it would fit in very well with more sturdy metals, so Sodium moved on. Ionic bonds are a friendship shared between a metal and a non-metal. Unlike covalent and metallic bonds, ionic bonds transfer electrons between atoms. If one atom has more electrons than it wants, it will give those unwanted electrons to its bond friend. If an element wanted more electrons, it would ask its bond friend for more electrons, and in return, they are more than happy to give them some. These bonds tend to be brittle, have high melting points, can conduct electricity when dissolved in water, and are usually solid. Sodium wanted a friend so bad, but no matter who it socialized with, wherever Sodium went, it could not find a friend worth sticking around to bond with. Sodium didn't want an anion that was too negative, under the weather, and complained about everything. Sodium also didn't want a cation that was overwhelmingly positive, hyper, and excited about everything. Eventually, it would be too hard for Sodium to keep up with an element like that. It came to the point where Sodium was on the verge of giving up and accepting the fact that it wasn't going to be able to find a bond friend. One day, while Sodium was walking through the park, Sodium accidentally bumped into another element. They both fell and then helped each other back up. They both apologized to each other since apparently they both were not looking where they were going. They both had a quick laugh with each other, which then led to a long chat. Both of them clicked instantly with each other, and they both exchanged names. The element Sodium bumped into was a non-metal called chlorine. Ever since that day, they always hung out with each other, and you almost never see them apart. Sodium has done it. Sodium has found what we can call a strong ionic friendship bond. Okay, so it's definitely not 4:21 in the morning, and I definitely am not trying to do some illustrations and story time at the last minute. Ever since it was little, Sodium had trouble making friends and building relationships. This struck Sodium. This stuck. Okay. Sodium was an element that really didn't have any friends. I can't speak. Metallic bonds are a friendship shared between two metals. Like covalent bonds, metallic bonds share their electrons with each other. These bonds are malleable, have high electrical, goddammit. Sometimes, Sodium would see multiple metals hang out with each other in alloy groups. God, why am I struggling so much on this one? If an element wanted more electrons, it would ask its bond friend for more electrons, and in return, they are more than happy to give them some. Why am I choking so much? If an element wanted more electrons, it would ask its bond friend for more electrons, and in return they are more happy. Stop it! They are more than happy, more than happy. Oh my god, we're at 23% me. What do you not understand about old phone? Come on me. If an element wanted more electrons, it would ask its bond friend for more electrons, and in return they are more than happy to give them some. Some! Are you freaking an idiot? Just speak! Come on! Wherever Soyum went, it could not find a friend worth sticking around to bond with. Soyum didn't want to an anion. That was sorry. I'm an idiot. Okay. I really should have practiced this.